Hi, my name's Thor Odinson. Recently, I started commuting a lot. I'm dating a new girl. She lives down in Midgard. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Bifrost or not, but if you've ever driven that after a meteor shower, it is the pits. Just little meteors kicking up all over the place. So what I'm going to do is get some mud flaps for the chariot here. There's a company called Broflaps. I had the regular ones. And since I'm doing a lot more commuting now on rocky roads, I want to actually try the extensions out. So I got a set of those on the way in. But, you know, I talked to Heimdall first and said, hey, bro, can we get the road crews out here after the storms roll through? I know you have tax money. Everything's more expensive now with all the Californians moving into Asgard. So can we get the roads cleared? He just looks at me, stands there. It's like talking to a wall. So I'm going to get this stuff handled. You know, I want the Bronco to look good. I don't want to have a bunch of dirt all up in the sides of it when I roll up and see my girl. You know, every time I go down, it's a great time. She's worth it. She's got some daddy issues, so it's a good time. She always says, bring my hammer, so I'm going to bring that with me down there. I always tell her I'm bringing the thunder, but she just wants the hammer, apparently. So, all right, well, let's go in the trophy room, and I'll show you what I've got coming in here for the mud flaps. Let's go over what the kit comes with. So if you order just the mud flap, you're going to receive a pair of these. If you're these are for the front, so I mean you're going to get 4 obviously if you're ordering for the whole Bronco. So just the flap, you're going to receive this piece here. You're going to come with some spacers. You're going to come with your hardware here. There's some U-nuts also that aren't shown in here. They're on the Bronco. You'll see those in the installation. And then you can order these with the extension, without. If you get them with the extension, they're going to have these holes in here. And I think they all come with the holes. If you don't want the holes and you're definitely not going to go with extensions, then you could contact Mr. Flaps, and he'll probably go ahead and be able to take care of you and get you a set of these made up that don't have holes in them, if you wish. But the cool thing is, though, if you do get these and you want to put the extensions on, this is the usefulness of these. This is what's so great about a small business making something like this, and they're making it for themselves and the users because they're doing something like this right here. So you have just 3 screws that come with this. This is stainless steel hardware, by the way, and this bar here is attached. So all you have to do is put these 3 screws in through the holes, and like I said, they have some washers here. These help stay in. They're going to get a grip into the mud flap material. So that's it. If you want to have a lot better protection, 3 screws. When you go out on the trail, you get out, you remove 3 screws. This is all you have to keep track of. So don't take those out, take this, toss it in your floorboard or wherever you want to keep it, and then when you get done on the trail, you can get out and put these back on. And I think if you make this part of your air down, air up process, it's not going to really add much more time. We'll see how long it takes to take off. I also am going to do a time on how long it actually takes to take off the entire flap. So taking all of this right here out, and we'll see just how long it is for those of you that are curious. I'm curious myself. And over here you'll see this is what it's going to look like once you put the screws in here. I just have these loosely fitted in here. It's kind of cool. It's a pretty hardcore look to it with the bolts, the hardware there, and an extra flap. What we're going to start off with is getting these 2 plastic retainers out of here. Sometimes if you just don't apply any force pushing in, if you just are really light and just turn, you can get these to back out of here if you're lucky. And because they're actually like a plastic Phillips screw in here. So let's see if we can get this one to back out. This one does not really want to back out, so in that case we'll go to prying. I've got it to come back out a little bit now. Can I get it to keep going? There we go. Let's switch over here to a hand. Okay, so once you've got those out of there, you can go ahead and just pry these out. This is just a plastic panel tool used for interiors. Okay, and after that, your fabric down here, you want to put that to the inside. And then we're going to just pull that out a little bit. So our next step is put it in these U-nuts here. And we want to make sure we put those with the threaded portion on the back side. Alright, a little bit of a tight fit. And that definitely, let's free up the bottom. We can get our hand in here better. There we go. And you want to make sure you line these up with the hole, because it's going to be a lot more difficult to do that later once you put the fabric back in place. Alright, there's our first one. But you can use a screwdriver though. If you want to use a Phillips screwdriver to go in there and line them up, you'll see Mr. Broflaps do that in the video. Alright, down here we're on our last one. Make sure we've got that on the back side. Alright, so we can put the cloth back down, and then as per video, you're going to put your fabric Willow liner behind this bottom one, so it's going to set behind it now. Alright, and we're good there for that step. Okay, next step here, got our mud flap. You'll see these 3 holes here will line up where you put your U-nuts. And our bottom one is going to be the bigger one for the 2-door. So we're going to start with the top one. And we're going to put a smaller spacer through that top hole, or behind the top hole. So you go ahead and put your screw in there. You can set that on there. And try and get that started a few threads. There we go. And gonna do the next one down. So the next one down is going to be another smaller one. And I'll reach up here behind it. That's why you want to leave a lot of slack in there, a lot of space. You don't want to tighten it any further than you need to. All right, so get this one in here, a few threads. Okay. And now we're going to go to the bottom one. Remember, you want to make sure you have those washers on here. So I'm going to reach up in the back, put the spacer back there, and then feed this in. So far so good. All of our holes are lining up good. If I can just get this one to start. Okay, I think we're good on that one. Your U-nuts might rotate back there a little bit. That's fine if they do. Okay, yep, we're in there good on that. So we have these 3 started. I'm going to go ahead and screw this one a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to go to our next step. Okay, our next step here is we have the hole at the top, and we're going to use one of the black screws that came with it. It's a sheet metal screw. And if you look, there's a rib here that's in the flare. So we're going to screw this into the rib there, and as long as it's going into that rib, it's not going to come out the other side. So I'm going to put that right in the middle. And I'll finish that up by hand because I do not want to strip that out. So I'd recommend just using a hand screwdriver from the get-go there. So that's snugged up. Let's snug up the rest of these.
I need a horse.
We don't have horses, just dogs, cats, birds.
And give me one of those large enough to ride.
And let's get our extension installed. So like I said before, you just have your 3 screws. Go ahead and have your washers on the screws ready to go. And I think probably the simplest is I'll line up the middle one, get that started. And make sure you just want to do finger start first. You don't want to cross thread anything. That pretty much goes for anything you're doing on a car. And then now if you have the middle one in, you can swivel it easy and you can line up either side now. So let's get both of these going. Make sure your washer's underneath each one of those bolts. You know, and I didn't think about it because it's hard to remember when you have left the Midwest or any place that has the bad winters, but really these would be great for anyone that's driving around a lot of snow through the winter with all the slush and everything that's going to fling up on your Bronco. I mean, what's the point of even washing the thing if you have one of these Broncos, because it's just going to throw so much stuff up. But this would really help. You could put these on for the winter and then just pull the extensions off for the summer if you're not overly concerned with you know, total protection. Okay, for some of you that are curious, which I am curious myself, we're going to time how long it takes to remove a Broflap. So all you're going to need is a shorty screwdriver, because there's the one Phillips at the top. And then we need our Allen wrench. So let's get that going. This is going to be the time-consuming part here. But if you think about it, you're going to be airing down for sure if you're going to be doing this. And the only hard part about this would be making sure that you don't lose any of your spacers. Like that. There they go. So let me grab my spacers here. And one more left. And I have a little thing I'm going to try and do. There, I've got a hold of that spacer. I should have done a better job of that before. Okay. So, time. And then we will times that times 2. Decided to stop and we'll get a look at how these are outside. Some natural light. You can see this is with the extension on. They look even better dirty now. And I have on the other side I have a Broflap without the extension. So you can get a look at that. I'll try and get all the angles here for you. Let's take a look at the other side. All right, here's driver's side, and we have just the Broflap without an extension. So this is the one I ordered previously with no holes I requested from Mr. Flaps. So, you know, the more I think about it, the extensions are really great because you can take them on and off so easy, and it's pretty much a winter mode if that's something you have to deal with where you live at. I mean, any of the flaps are pretty much either on or off, but this extension idea is pretty useful, especially for anyone where you're going to have winters. Because why not throw them on for all winter, then you can pull them off. And if you do commute a lot in gravel, then you might want to just leave them on all the time. But you can always then pull them off when you go trail riding. It's starting to get dark out here, so I'm going to head on back. I didn't air down, so it didn't get too crazy, but we went ahead and did some Baja mode fun. And if you don't have that, you know, that's something you can enable. Every Bronco you can enable that on. If you go into ForeScan, if you know someone that has ForeScan, if you're in one of the Bronco clubs, somebody probably does. I did ForeScan, set it up, and the modes are already there. They just need to be enabled. So you can go into your Bronco, and with the ForeScan app, it's free to download on your laptop, and you might need to get a cable though. cable, or they may have a Bluetooth adapter that you can get. Let's hit our lights here. So my only auxiliary lights I have, they have rough country. So if you had watched earlier, you know, I installed some rough country, the pocket lights for the modular bumper down below, and they have the driving lights on. I have those on auxiliary 6, and then I have the full power of the lights on auxiliary 2. After I did the math and figured out what our amperage was and which switch we should hook up to. Little slippy slidey down this here.